Hi, how's everyone? Welcome. I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. No, ma'am. No. No, I'm sorry. The cat is active right now. I often say, if you guys have been with me before, she ignores me all day. She's been sleeping all day. She just got up about 10 minutes ago and she's already trying to wreak havoc. It's almost as if she knows that I'm about to record, and as soon as I press record, she needs to be the center of all attention. So I'm assuming she's probably going to jump up here a couple times. So let's hope she doesn't mess up the cards. We are addressing Gemini today. Hello, Geminis. This is for any placement of Gemini, Sun, Rising, North Node, or Stellium, or any other placement of concern. Remember, we have every sign in our chart somewhere. So all even though readers do readings for certain signs, you can watch any or all because we all have all the placements somewhere. Okay. It is an absolute train wreck up there in the astrology right now. There are squares and oppositions. There's a mystic rectangle. There's a grand trine coming and going, and but there's also a lot of sextiles and trines. So there's negative, there's positive, there's oppositions, there's cooperation, but there's butting heads and everything. It's an absolute disaster up there, and it happens every once in a while. So we're going to address how this is affecting Gemini, its ruler, and its aspects. Let's talk about it, Gemini. We'll go through the aspects affecting your sign and the planets aspecting your energy. So first off, your ruler Mercury is retrograde right now in Sagittarius and conjunct the sun. So even though communications may be jammed up right now, the sun is still facilitating some illumination and awareness. Sagittarius energy is expansive and full of wonder. It seeks out movement, both physical and intellectual. That sits very well with your energy of being the first baby air sign of the intellect. It is receptive, if not straight hungry, for learning and growth, philosophy, principles, and new perspectives. And again, even though Mercury is bound up in retrograde, it doesn't hinder the sun from gaining the enlightenment that it's pursuing. In fact, it makes us extra perceptive to the knowledge that there is more to know than what we are being allowed to see at the moment. Retrograde energy gives us a chance to review, fact check, analyze, and explore what we already know and determine if it's complete, truthful, promotes expansion and growth, or if it needs more scrutiny and study. This is a dynamic and insightful time, and it gives us the opportunity to reconsider, reevaluate, and reintegrate facts and perspectives that we may have overlooked. That's retrograde energy. It's like a review period. Okay? It's like when it's direct, things can come bombarding in all this information. There's a free flow of discourse and everything, but because it is such a fast moving unbiased energy, there's not a lot of time sometimes to scrutinize what we're receiving, but in retrograde we can do that. These two planets are in opposition to Sagittarius's ruler Jupiter, which is retrograde in your sign, Gemini. Jupiter energy is akin to like a lesser sun, and even retrograde Jupiter maintains the search for growth and understanding. Usually, oppositions are interpreted as difficult, contentious energies, but between these two powerhouses, it expresses more as a balancing, stabilizing energy. Jupiter retrograde says there's no rush. Take your time and really immerse in the learning. Gemini is highly intellectual and represents duality and polarizing intellect. And even retrograde Jupiter is influencing Gemini, dare I say, blessing it to walk carefully when exploring and lending its energy of acceptance to your need to plant your flag on one side or another of a situation. You may feel a little off footed. I don't know if that's a phrase, off footed. Both sides of the sword of truth are sharp. But Jupiter retrograde says, don't be so sure just yet that you know it all. Take your time to explore how you center yourself inside this learning period before you declare your position. Okay? Because Sun to Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius is in a beneficial trine to Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron is a wounding that's difficult to heal, and Aries is the first foundational spark of our identity. So, we're being encouraged to take care and learn all we can because it will, in some way, encourage and activate transformative healing to our sense of self worth, self esteem, confidence, honor, and dignity. This is amplified by the fact that Jupiter in your sign is in a favorable sextile to Chiron in Aries. This is a very constructive and generous time to do some healing to that Chiron injury. The key to Chiron is that to heal ourselves, we must work to heal others with the same hurt first. So instead of hurt people, this is a powerful cultural opportunity for hurt people to heal people and then in turn heal themselves. Because by extension, you can heal the world. So let's go to the tarot and see if this and how this can play out in the cards. Now, remember, not all messages will resonate for every person, so leave what doesn't resonate now, but keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. You are all at different points in your timelines. Like I say, I can read the script, but I cannot tell you which character you all individually play or where you choose to stand on the stage. I can't tell you if you're participating or observing. I can only read the script, the energy, okay? So let's go to the reading. I laid out the first three from the First Light Tarot, and we have the Portal card, the World, and the Magician. The First Light Tarot deck is pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope. I'm a huge space nerd. I absolutely adore the Hubble, and this was a gifted deck from a very good friend. I love you. Thank you, Ozzy, for the deck. So I always start out with a foundational few cards because to me this represents universe energy, divine movements that we can't really control, but we are in the flow of, so we should be aware of where they're taking us. So the first card we got here is the portal. Now we are in the middle of two portals. We're in the middle of the 11:11 portal and the 12:12 portal. 12:12 portal is the last portal of the year. It's the one where we clean everything up, step through, and on to a new cycle, okay? So portal energy means movement between worlds, time frames, and relationships, okay? It says this is the point where you need to decide your path, okay? That's what the portal card looks like. It looks like a black hole. Next card we've got is the World. This is a card of renewal. It says it says end. That's it. fulfillment, long-term accomplishments, long-term goals, accomplishments. Cycles are done, and this is where you reap your reward. But this is also a point where you shed the old, renew yourself, celebrate, and prepare for things to be restarted again. Okay. I feel Pluto energy here. I might have to look up what Pluto is doing at the moment. I think it's trudging through Capricorn right now. Then we have the Magician card. This is manifest through active participation. This is great because it's like we're going through a new portal. This is this is a point of the World card says it's very karmic related because this is where we reap the rewards of the cycle that we just came through. And now here we have the Magician. Right after the rebirth of the World card, we have a chance to manifest in a new paradigm. Okay, so I mean, portals said decide your path. The world here is long-term goals are being achieved, and the reward is coming. In the Rider-Waite deck, the world card, the image on it is the goddess Nike, which is the goddess of victory, and the culmination of all the effort that you have put into something. Okay, underneath that, here we've got the Magician. In manifest through active participation. This is creativity and power. The key to the Magician card is I don't know if you hear her back there wreaking havoc. The key to the Magician card is that he has everything he needs in the 3D. He's got a wand, that's energy. He's got a cup, that's emotion and passion. He's got a sword, which is information and truth, and he's got a pentacle, which is financial stability, small financial stability. He's got one of everything. Okay, it's interesting because he has one of every element that was in the Fool's Satchel, which is the card before the Magician. So, and then we do start out, well, not start out, but we do have the Fool here in the spread. So this is active participation in your manifestation. This isn't just, oh, I wish I could be this, or I wish I could have that. This is, I see my goal. I know the steps I'm going to take, and I'm starting to work on it. Okay. In the Magician card, he's got one hand pointing down towards the earth and one hand pointing up towards the sky. And it's because he is making himself a conduit to pull down energy from the 5D and pull up energy from the 3D so that he can bring it together and manifest what he desires. Okay, so we've got the 9-card spread here that I created. Card number 1 in the middle is the heart of the situation. We have the 3 of Swords here. 3 of Swords came out in yesterday's reading in the reverse. This time it's upright. So there is heartbreak here, some kind of betrayal or distrust. There was damage done here. There was loss here. And there was tears here. So this is the central on our hearts, on our mind, in our space, what is the main heart of the situation. Okay, we've got lightning in the background of this card, which reminds me of the Tower. So whatever this heartbreak was, I hear it changed everything. Okay, this story, again, I'm using the Tarot of the Divine. It's the deck that is all mythology and folklore from around the world. So in the 3 of Swords, this is the crane wife. This is a common myth throughout different cultures of an otherworldly It sometimes it's a spirit, sometimes it's a fairy, sometimes it's an animal in human form that takes on a human um, spouse, okay? With one caveat. There's always a caveat with these relationships. And the caveat is do not look at me, do not it's like you can't see them during certain times because that's when they're in their natural form. In this story, her husband was poor, and she said, I can weave beautiful silk, and then you can sell it and we can get out of this poverty. And he was like, all right, go do, let's yeah, absolutely. So she would sequester herself at night and weave this beautiful fabric. Well, as they got richer, the husband got more greedy for more riches. So he was like, I need you to produce, I need you to make more, I need you to step it up. You know, we're getting a lot of money here. I need you to ramp up your production. So she says, okay, I will, but the promise still stands. You cannot come and find me. You can't observe me. You can't see me while I'm working. So, what always happens with the human is that our curiosity gets the best of us, and he peeked. And what he saw was she was, in fact, a crane, uh, or she had wings and feathers like a crane. And she was cutting off her feathers in order to weave into this beautiful fabric. But she was producing so much that she was almost bare. She had almost cut off all her feathers, and she was bleeding and she was suffering, but she didn't tell him that. All she did was what she was bid to do. Now, when he peaked, he broke the bargain. He broke the contract. And so they both lost everything. That's the betrayal. There was some circumstance here where there was a boundary set and somebody crossed that boundary and it tore everything apart. That's the lightning in the background that causes the tower. There was some betrayal here and heartbreak because somebody was putting their whole ass into a situation and somebody else was not appreciating that. So that is the central issue here, Gemini. Card number 2, crowning thoughts and relevant opinions. We have the moon. Oh, where's the moon right now? I believe, let's see, the moon right now is in Aquarius. Yeah, I believe we addressed the moon in Aquarius yesterday. Actually, this is, I've got this for early tomorrow because since I post so late, some people don't watch it till the next day, so I include that. I kind of go forward a little bit in the readings. So tomorrow, the 5th, from my vantage point here, we have the new moon going into a crescent moon. So that's opening up the energies. Now, a little bit about the moon. When it's in new moon phase, it's dark. You can't see it. It's because it's in between the shadow of the earth and the sun. In witchcraft, which I am a pagan, I am a witch, I don't. Some do. I don't. We don't do any manifesting work during the new moon because it's symbolically when the feminine moon energy is rejuvenating herself. She's resting. It's basically like it's her period week. Like, nobody wants to be bothered when they're on their period, right? If you're sequestered in the dark part of the month, do you want your kids banging on the door asking for shit? No, you don't. You want to be left alone. You want to, be in a bubble bath, and you want to renew, and you want to do the laundry, and you want to be fresh when the cycle ends. That's the new moon. So don't do any manifesting work any spells or anything like that during the new moon, the dark of the moon. That's when you let the energies rest. So now that the new moon has passing and it's opening up to the waxing crescent, that's when we can start our manifestation work, which is fortunate because we have the magician here, which is calling for active participation in that manifesting. So here now in the crowning, the relevant opinions and thoughts on our mind, we have the moon. I heard somebody thinking, I'm not seeing something clearly, or there's like illusion here. The moon also rules illusion. She rules Cancer, the mother, the feminine energy. There is intuition here. There's cycles and rhythms. This could be, when the moon comes through, it's reminding us to not get caught in those cycles that we always get caught in, okay? Don't take people back that you know are just going to do it again. Don't fall back into old patterns that you know are just going to be toxic. It's a chance to really explore what we're keeping hidden from the light. The sun illuminates the ego. It illuminates what we want people to see. It is the truth, but it's like it's not that it's a false truth. It's just shiny. It's a shiny truth, right? It's the good. It's the bright. It's growth and expansion. But underneath that, the moon illuminates what we hide. And we always have to address the underneath, okay? So here in our crowning thoughts, we feel, I feel, somebody feels like the truth was kept from them, or they can't see it, or something like that. There was self-deception here. This card says the subconscious. There's self-deception, illusion, maybe sadness, and also a feeling of being misplaced. In this myth, this young woman, she was an orphan. She was adopted by a bamboo farmer, right? Because there was like this crack in the sky. It could have been like a comet or a meteor. Something fell from the sky and landed in his bamboo patch. And when he cut down some bamboo, there was a little baby in there. Little tiny baby. Little baby. Not even like a human baby. But she wasn't of this world, okay? She came from the moon. And every time the moon was full, she got very homesick. And she didn't even know why. She just stared at the moon and insisted that that's where she belonged. So there is a feeling of misplacement here. There's a feeling of forgetting where we come from. Okay? And I feel like that is an emotional place. It's like I heard someone say, I forgot who I was. I forgot who I was for a while. I functioned in an illusion for other people. Okay, this character, she was raised to be a dutiful daughter, and she helped her father, and she helped the village. She was everything she was supposed to be, but she was still sad because she knew she was not in the right place. So this is in the crowning thoughts. Somebody feels after this heartbreak that they are definitely not in the right place. And that's hard because they're dealing with that internally. That's the moon energy. This is not out in the open. Even because here underneath of it, we've got the sun in reverse. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. The third position, we've got foundational influences, the sun in reverse. This is hurt ego, doubt, cloudiness. It's like, again, with that cloudy kind of energy. It's like something is obscured, something is hidden, something is kept from the light, okay, kept from the ego. kept from being illuminated for others. There is internal struggle here after some kind of heartbreak and betrayal. It's interesting when I was talking about the moon card earlier. Um, when I said that there was like a comet or something struck out of the blue and she landed in the bamboo field, back here in the Three of Swords in the background, there is that bolt of lightning that changes everything. So here's the bolt of lightning, and then in the story, that's how she comes to this situation where she's raised. Like she doesn't have she was a baby of the moon people, I guess, right? So when she came to Earth, it's just like when we reincarnate. We don't have memories of the past life, but we do have residual feelings, okay? We have residual feelings of something that we had been before. And that's what's in the crowning. There is remembrance of a condition that we had lived in before. And this is something that we had forgotten about ourselves. Something positive, it's not in the reverse. Something positive. We put something that was really important about ourselves out of our memory. Okay? Here is the sun in reverse on the foundational influences. A short delay, hurt ego, um, fear of missing out. Oh, okay. This is like even somewhere in our inner intellect, in our ego, we're like, I know I'm more than this. I know I'm more than this. And there's a fear here of not stepping up, stepping out, and stepping into what our true form is. Okay? Fourth position, we have advantageous factors. We've got the Ten of Coins here. I love this card. I love this story. I think this is a Chinese story. This is Pan Hu or Hu. And the story of this is there was a chieftain or a king of some village, and he had to go to war. And to war, he brought his faithful dog. And his faithful dog served his master beautifully and dutifully, and they won. And to reward his dog, this kind of gets a little weird. He promises his dog that he could marry his daughter. Okay? Now remember, this is all symbolic. Okay? But in order to do that, they had to turn him human. So they put him under a bowl, a big bowl. And I don't know if there was a wizard involved or something, but the instructions were to leave him under there for 7 days and don't peek. Okay? Where did we talk about peeking before that? The Three of Swords. You can't peek while I'm working. There's boundaries here. Okay? And so, like, 3 hours left of the sixth day, or right up to the seventh day, the king couldn't take it anymore. He lifted the bowl and he peeked. Well, the dog's transformation wasn't complete yet, and he remains with his doggy head. Do you see that? However, even though the transformation didn't go all the way, he was still rewarded with a beautiful wife, a beautiful life. Okay, he married the daughter, which there they are up here in their old age, surrounded by their children and the riches that he earned from the chieftain or the king or whatever. His reward for being faithful to his duties. Okay, duty. This is loyalty, abundance in due time, and reward. Um, yeah, so this is in the position of advantageous factors. So there is a stability here that they're showing me is like a good jumping off point. You're stable, you're taken care of. I heard you're prepared. Everything has been prepared for you. There is movement imminent, okay? And I feel like it's to heal this middle column here, this feeling of being displaced, this feeling of being betrayed and having to hide the pain from others. Um, you have abundance and reward coming because you've been loyal to some kind of duty, all right? Fifth position, we have past decisions, lessons, and influences. This here is the Six of Cups in reverse. All right. The Six of Cups is usually a beautiful card of remembering life and love when it was uncomplicated, before life had a chance to ruin it. Six of Cups has two children on it. This is very nostalgic for the past when things were equitable. This is like if you think back to when you were a kid, before you're taught how quote unquote the world works out there. Before you're taught how the world works, everything seems very even, very, your friend is your friend, and that's your friend, and it doesn't matter their circumstance or yours. It doesn't matter their family or yours. It doesn't matter skin tone or yours. It doesn't matter money or yours. All you know is that you and that person have a beautiful connection. And that's the Six of Cups. Remembering a loving connection before life ruins it. But it's in reverse here, which either means that the situation wasn't as rosy as you're remembering, or you're getting stuck in that past situation. Okay, this is like ghosts stuck in the past, um, ghosts of the past, or being stuck in the past. This is reluctance to move on, reluctance to moving forward, okay? So there's something here that's keeping you bound to something from the past because it was sweet, okay? Sixth position, we have negative background energies. Now, we've got the Fool. I always get a little twisted up when I have a position for a negative energy and a positive card falls on it. So we can read this two ways. Either there is no negative influence here, and there is just this Fool energy, which is the energy of go forward, go forth, no baggage. It's a brand new opportunity. Go in it a whole ass and with faith, okay? This is beginnings, innocence, willpower, and free spirit. Now, this card, the Fool, is the Little Mermaid. In the original story, which we're not basing this on the Disney version, the original story, she's not named. She's just the mermaid, the Little Mermaid. She enters into this transformation in order to earn the love of the prince, right? But the key to the story is that in the end, he doesn't choose her. There's heartbreak here, and that's here in the Three of Swords in the middle. There was a betrayal. There was crossed boundaries. There was heartbreak. He doesn't choose her. She goes forward in faith, knowing that the outcome could be good or bad. It's just the need to go forward, okay? And it's interesting because here in the past, we've got this Six of Cups in reverse, this reluctance of moving forward that's kind of anchoring us to the past. Whatever happened in the past is preventing us from moving forward. But the negative energy here, this background energy, is this desire to want to go forth. The reason that okay, um, one of the details of this story, this was, now remember, when this was written, what was it, like 1400s, 1500s, whatever. This had a very deep lesson about feminine servitude, because with the mermaid people in the story, they did not have souls. And in order to earn a soul, you had to get married, because it's like, to them, your value was um it was centered on doing your dutiful wifely duty and getting married. And only then could you earn a soul. Isn't that crazy? It's fucking sick if you think about it. She wasn't she didn't have a soul, and she wasn't going to earn one until she got married. So she fell in love with this prince, and she's like, I'm going to go for that one. That's the one I want. I'm going to go for it. But like I said, in the end, he didn't choose her. He chose someone else. And he didn't know that the sacrifice she made in order to come into human form was that every time she walked, it felt like knives in her feet and legs. And she had to learn to dance, and she had to walk on the rocks, and she had to walk in shoes in his castle, and she couldn't say a fucking thing, because part of the myth was that she had her tongue cut out. So she couldn't even voice her discomfort. She couldn't voice her needs. She was only there to try to win this goal. Okay? This is in the position of negative. This could be like a stubbornness of going forward and trying to do something, even though it's going to hurt like a bitch. And there's no guarantee you're going to win. And this could be what other people are seeing outside of your inner situation here. It's like, you want to move forward. You're here on top of the Six of Cups in reverse. This is reluctance to move forward, but you have the desire here. The Fool. She's looking off into the morning, and she has all possibilities in front of her. But some around you may think that your desire to move away from this stability, because you have here the Ten of Coins, this abundance, this reward, this loyalty from family, and you want to move away into something different, people might see you as being foolish. So I feel like this is what people are seeing of you. It's like you're coming from this Ten of Coins, this abundance. It's like you worked so hard that everybody is taken care of. That could be the key of why people don't want you to move forward, is because they're taken care of when you're in this position. As long as you keep in this servitude, they're taken care of. So your dreams of she's looking off into, I don't know if you can, let me turn this brightness down a little bit so you can see this card. I don't know if you can see it, but off in the distance on this mountain is the castle, which is her looking off to a life that she can only imagine. And that's her dream. And people are looking around her like, that you're out of your mind. It's going to hurt, and there's no guarantee you are going to succeed. But remember, in the Rider-Waite deck, the Fool is carrying a satchel of all the basics that he's going to need for his new situation. 1 wand, 1 cup, 1 sword, and 1 coin. And in the Rider-Waite, he has a little dog guide from the divine. So he does know his path that he wants to traverse, but it's untested. He's untested. The situation might pan out, it might not. That's the key to the Fool. That's the reason it's the number 0. It's all possibilities, but nothing yet. And that's people might feel like that is a negative energy. You don't know what you're getting into. I hear them saying, you don't know if this is going to work. How could you leave this all behind? In fact, I think that that doubt that you have, or that other people are putting into you, is keeping you bound in this Six of Cups reverse, this reluctance to move forward, because the past, what you had, was sweet, but it's no longer. Okay? Position 7 is positive background energies, and we've got the powerful High Priestess card. In this deck, this is Scheherazade of 1001 Arabian Nights. She is so cunning and smart, but she keeps her motives to herself, next to the moon right here. The High Priestess represents wisdom, discerning, and perception. In this deck, Scheherazade was the daughter of like an advisor to the Shah. And the Shah was, he was in an asshole phase. I think he was mourning the loss of like his favorite wife. So he went on this fucking and killing rampage where he would just marry the next princess or the next, a duchess or whatever, and spend the wedding night and then off with their head. He was running through eligible women like crazy. So his advisor offered up his daughter, and his daughter was like, I can handle this. So she married the king, and their first night together, she told him a story. And she was so long winded in this story that the sun came up. They didn't consummate. But it reminds me of, if anybody saw The Princess Bride, and he was telling the story of how he survived the Dread Pirate Roberts. And he's like, every night it was like, good work, Wesley, get some rest. I'll most likely kill you in the morning. That's kind of what it was like for her. And he was like, great story. Every time she took too long to tell a story, the sun would come up. And he would say, I'll be back. I'll be back in the next morning, and then we're going to consummate, and then I'm going to kill you. And she's like, okay, all right, we'll see you in the next round. And he would come back, and she would be like, oh, but don't you want to hear what happened in the story? And he'd be like, yes, I do. And she told such good stories. She strung that man along for how long? 1001 nights. Like, that was like 3 years, 2.5 years, 3, 6, 9, 3.5 years she strung that man along. And she eventually won her freedom. So she used cunning, and she kept her motives to herself. So this being in the positive energies, you have it in you to be cunning about this move. Keep your motives to yourself. Tell people what they want to hear, okay? But use discernment and perspective. The key to the High Priestess is in the Rider-Waite deck, she's sitting between two pillars, black and white. And behind her is a curtain into the inner sanctum. And when you first understand the basics, then you're invited to come in and experience the deeper mysteries. But in order to get through the pillars, you have to understand that the truth is in between the black and the white. So this is a key to understanding that, especially for you, Gemini. Geminis are very intent on, they're dual-minded, they're polarizing. What do I believe? Is this the truth or is this the truth? Is this the knowledge or is this right? You know what I mean? So the key to movement and moving forward in knowledge is to know that the truth is in between the black and the white. Okay, black and white is very symbolic. It's masculine and feminine energy. It's It's day and night. It's sun and moon. It's truth and lies. It's positive and negative. And the balance of the two is where the spark of creation exists. So, in order to create a new paradigm, you have to take a little from column A and a little from column B, alchemize them together with magician energy, and decide what is the truth. And not only decide what is the truth, but decide what the truth that you share with other people is. Because we already see here in the Fool, people are not going to always be on your side. Okay? And here in the middle, between the High Priestess and the Fool, we have the Moon. It feels like you're moving undercover. Okay, even if it's this just emotional or internal, intellectual, there's functionings going on that you're keeping to yourself, that your motives, that's that High Priestess energy. You're not sharing that. You know why? Because too many fingers in the pie ruin the recipe. Okay? So keep some of that energy to yourself. Otherwise, we move on to the next position here, card number 8, the near future and advice. Otherwise, we've got the 5 of Cups, which is complete regret and ruin. This myth is La Llorona. Every culture has the myth of the crying woman. Okay, she is either she allows her children to die, or you go ahead. She allows her children to die, or she murders them out of for love. Because in one myth, it's like she marries this guy and he's like, well, I want kids of my own with you and I don't want your ex's kids running around, so you're going to have to off them. And she's like, I guess I got to do it. Because this was back in the day where your value was determined by your husband. So that was very rampant back in the past, where women would remarry and have to abandon those kids, right? So this 5 of Cups is the total abandonment of something that they loved. You've got 3 cups upside down in the water and a hand coming up from the water grabbing her dress. That is the memory of what she allowed to perish, grabbing at her. Now, the key to the, well, first of all, it's penance. It's walking penance, okay? This is you keeping yourself in an energy of I don't deserve to be happy. I deserve this misery. I did this to myself. This is regret and self-pity, and this is mourning your mistakes. The key to the 5 of Cups is that even though 3 of them are spilled, you've got 2 in the background upright and full. That is the 2 of Cups of a new partnership. Now, either you don't see it because you are in such an energy of mourning, or you do still have the hope of rekindling something, and you've put those cups to the side so that you could protect them. Okay? This is interesting because it's in the same row with that 6 of Cups in reverse. So this could be you remembering a beautiful love from the past. You were betrayed and you had to give it up, but now you're rethinking that as was a mistake. Okay? Lastly, we have the 9th position of what comes next. I do not designate this as an outcome card because as long as the wheel keeps turning, there is not really an outcome to anything. There is just a next step. So the next step, this last step, card number 9, we have the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is self-fulfilling torment. This story is a story of Oedipus. Hi, baby. No, I'm busy. Now, the story of Oedipus is that his father received a prophecy, and that's who is in the card. This is the oracle at Delphi. And she gave him a prophecy that his son would kill him. Okay, so in order to get around that, he cast them out. I don't know if he just cast out the son. I think he's like, he gave him to somebody and he's like, here, raise this kid, right? And so he he denied him. Now, that set into motion the idea that the child didn't know who he was. And so he, on his travels, came to a kingdom where they were being very mistreated. So he decided he was going to off this king and marry the queen himself. What did that do? That fulfilled the prophecy. So he was so distraught about what could happen that he made every mistake he could and actually ensured the fact that he would fulfill that prophecy. That's this version of the Nine of Swords. This is self-fulfilling torment. This is gossip, doubts, lies, fears, all the negative shit you tell yourself, and how you react to that, because your thoughts create your reality. So him sitting with this, my son is going to kill me, that, now remember, the key with those prophecies is that they're very open-ended. They're very hard to interpret. It's like with tarot. What do I say? I can read the script, but I can't tell you what you're going to do with it, right? That's the thing about prophecy. She saw the energies there. Your son is going to kill you. And he, through his reaction to that, could have prevented it or encouraged it. And this is a warning about our human frailty to try to change things for ourselves, not knowing the outcome. Remember that Fool card? You don't know what's going to happen. This also is seen in... Oh, I just had another example and I lost it. But that's okay because it was Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd too. Oh, yeah. Spoilers if anyone haven't seen the prequels. They're 20 years old by now. Get on it if you haven't. I'm going to spoil it. Anakin received a dream where Padme was going to die. And he needed to do everything in his power to prevent that. But every step he took to prevent it actually fulfilled it. So what he was seeing was the outcome of his actions. Okay? And instead of taking that as a warning, he took it as not encouragement, but he took it as a sign that it was him who had to interfere. Okay? So now let's tie it all together and read it all together. Somebody in the collective, you, or maybe someone you know or observing or interacting with, I'm going to say it's whoever I'm speaking to. You're stuck in this pain because you put everything into something that your intentions were pure, okay? And it all fell apart because I believe you were not being forthcoming about what you needed, what you wanted, who you wanted to be. I feel like that's that Chiron and Aries energy. There was a deficiency of your view of your self-worth, your self-empowerment here. And you just resigned to servitude. And not even to yourself, but to your expectations, okay? And that made everything fall apart. When we have this, but we've got this positive energy here. It's like you learn from it. You learn from it. You're releasing the pain of the mistakes. But you're still kind of like with this last card, it's what comes next. And it's this Nine of Swords. So you're still going to be in this energy of regretting not listening to yourself. Okay? Don't let these other people tell you what your path should be, because the moon is telling you, you know where you come from, you know where you want to go back to. Six of Cups reversed. You may be living in the past, but there was a 10 of cups there, you know? Sun in reverse. Something is not being truthful. Somebody's not being truthful here. That's the foundation here. You had a 10 of coins, the sun reverse, and the 9 of swords. You had the surface, on the surface, the rosy picture of everything being Gucci. But the sun in reverse meant that there was something kept from the light. And I think it was what you really wanted. Okay, and that puts you in this 9 of swords energy, this constant knifing yourself, this constant doubt and fear. And oh, what else do I have here? Nope. See, he's head in his hands, and he's in sorrow because of these swords that are surrounding them. Okay, if you do not release this, here, use this cunning of the high priestess, because you need to release this guilt of the 5 of cups. Okay, because behind you is a 2 of cups, a brand new partnership, connection, equitable distribution of emotional fulfillment here. But you turned your back on it. I don't think you turned your back on it because, oh, maybe part of you feels like you don't deserve it. Part of you feels like you've ruined too much. And again, in this card, she's under the moon, and in the background is a castle. So it's like the castle here from the Fool, the moon here from the moon, 5 of the 6 of cups here, the betrayal of the 3 of swords. My goodness, everything centers here on this 5 of cups. You must release yourself from this guilt and regret. Oh, okay, hang on. Yeah, it was like I put so much into it and now it's all ruined. And then that brings you doubts because you had this Rosie the Fool. I'm going to go into it. I know what I want. I know where I want to be. It might not be easy, but I've got this high priestess, inner perspective, inner perception, discernment, and wisdom. And I got the moon lighting my path. And all of a sudden it went wrong. But you're blaming yourself, and that's where the 9 of swords is coming from. It's blame where you don't need to blame yourself. Okay, basically just keep in mind, shit happens, things go wrong. We sometimes do not know all the details. And I think that's coming into play here for you, Gemini, to make sure with that Jupiter energy and that Sun and Mercury energy, make sure you know all the facts. Make sure you know all the details. Make sure you know all your options. Make sure you know your strengths and your weaknesses. Make sure you know where you stand in your knowledge, and make sure you are looking at the past and the future correctly. Okay, don't look at the past in the 6 of Cups reverse. This is a false sense of that was so much better. No, it may have been, but what they're telling me with this 6 of Cups is it was beautiful for the time, but because it was before life got to it, you don't know what that 6 of Cups could have turned into now. All right? And I think that not knowing is what's really fostering this regret, this guilt. It's like I gave that up and it was so beautiful. Okay, it was beautiful in the moment, but you don't know how those cups could have developed. So there's no need to hold yourself in guilt over something that's spilled already. Okay? Stick with me. I know we're at an hour. We've got a little ways to go yet. We're gonna get some final. We're gonna skip. Oh, I don't want to skip. Sorry, I try to keep the time down, but looks like my average is always going to be a little over an hour. So I hope this is resonating. I hope the messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you're vibing with my content, please take a moment and leave a like. Maybe share and subscribe. It helps the algorithm get my content seen. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and I'm shooting for maybe 100 subscribers, maybe by summer, 6 months, hopefully. And you can really help me do that if you share and comment and leave a like. Any interaction helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email and donation links. I am open for personal readings and birth chart inquiries. My first discipline is astrology. I picked up tarot later, so I can do birth chart inquiries. And for any smaller donations, I would be glad to do a 3-card spread for you as a thank you. My email, Venmo, and Cash App are in the description. I appreciate any and all feedback, signal boost, or donations that come my way. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Let's get 2 Ancestor Oracle messages, please, for the Gemini Collective. Sun, rising, north node, stellium, or any placement of prominence or importance or concern. Nope, that's too many. We'll do this one first. The seer. Okay, yep, high priestess energy. See beyond the current situation. And the hermit. That's Virgo energy. Retreat and recharge. Okay. So we'll do the seer first, and then we'll get some last minute little advice cards from my theme deck. Okay. Now this also has like Oracle of Delphi energy here. There was a prophecy, but we could have read it wrong. The seer says, see beyond the current situation. So we've got the oracle here and the high priestess here. Okay? It says, look beyond your current situation and raise your vibration and focus on love. That's that 2 of Cups in the 5 of Cups. 3 of Cups spilled, but 2 are salvaged. Okay? Don't forget that. It says clairvoyance isn't just about predicting the future. It's about being able to see clearly enough to create your best future. You're being encouraged by your ancestral guides and angels to see beyond what you think is happening now. Don't allow your ego or doubts to play games with you. Instead of seeing yourself as stuck or lost, know you're in an energetic holding space, while the universe recalibrates a path that is more favorable for you. Angels of light are upgrading your energy so your experiences can be more enjoyable. You're moving towards something extremely uplifting and enlightening, so stay calm and keep your eyes on the prize. That's very encouraging. See, that holding place is interesting because it reminds me of the 2 of Wands. And we've got the portal card here, the world card meaning that there's an ending of something, and the magician is the energy of you are in charge of manifesting whatever you want. But with this Fool energy, there's a lot of doubts here. It might not work out the way I want to. There might be hidden things. I might have heartbreak here. I might be disappointed because I leave behind a past that was just fine. Because here we've got the 6 of Cups reverse on top of the 10 of Coins. It's like things are fine, but I want something different. I am different. I need to move forward. But. There's always a big ass but. So let's go to the Hermit. retreat and recharge. This says take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. You've been working hard and giving your all to your current situation. What is that? That 3 of Swords. She gave every feather on her body to gain that abundance. That 10 of Coins here. That provided for everybody, and all it brought her was betrayal. Okay? All it brought you, all that sacrifice. You stripped down to your fucking skin for these people. And you still were not fulfilled. Everybody else was. But were you? Okay? Where was I? Situation may become... Giving your all to your current situation, and it may become draining and detrimental to your development unless you retreat and recharge your energies. You're being guided to take a step back at this time. If you're working or bringing something together, your over-involvement could impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do that could have a larger impact on your life, spend some time in deep thought, even contemplation, before moving forward. Often when we rush in, we don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. So that kind of gives that 5 of Cups energy. Where it says oftentimes we rush in and we don't see how we ourselves are going to fuck this up. Okay, that's that 5 of Cups. I gave everything. I, used my discernment and it fucked up anyways. Okay, so this is telling us that in this time, especially with this Mercury retrograde, these next few months are kind of in the air. This is a portal, okay, portal card of a new cycle, a new paradigm. But you have to pull back and let go. Remember I said I did feel some Pluto energy in here? It's because we have to let something go so it can transform itself, okay? Something here needs to be relinquished, given up, give it to God, give it up to the universe, okay? Because you have to go into repair mode and come out of this regret and this guilt and self-pity and this negative self-talk. This all has very Chiron and Aries energy here. So in order to heal that, like we were saying in the beginning, we have to step back and take ourselves into consideration, okay? So I'm definitely over now, but I mean, why not go ahead and finish it off? So we're going to finish out with the theme deck, and we're going to get some final encouragement, advice, heads ups for the collective. I can't ever think of any way to describe this. I made this deck, and I drew these pictures myself, but I never came up with a name. See, Pluto. What did I say? Pluto energy. Underworld, creative destruction, purging, evolution, death and rebirth. This is the wrecking ball. Okay? The wrecking ball, the tower energy, that's lightning in the background, illuminating you to something that needs to be destroyed in order for you to move away from it towards something that you really want to be. I think I'm going to work that into the title. The wrecking ball comes through to destroy something so that you can move forward into what you really want to be. Let's get a few more for the Gemini Collective, please. Thank you. We've got try new things. Yeah, you're open up now for new possibilities. How are you going to decide who you are or who you want to be if you don't try new things? That's that Sagittarius energy. We've got roll the dice, take a chance. Take a chance. What is that Kelly Clarkson song? Breakaway? I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. And I'll take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. I think I'll link that in the description. I usually do link any songs that I channel in the readings. Oh my goodness, that's too many. Ooh, grasshopper. I love that. Oh wait, I thought that was caterpillar, but let's see here. We've got remember you are water. Okay, that's that 5 of cups energy here. That 6 of cups reversed. That moon energy. Even the fool with the little mermaid here has water energy. That it? That it? That it? Cry, feel, cleanse, let go, and flow with it. Okay? No. Grasshopper energy. Situations in the balance require careful handling. Okay? They want me to say that's for you. You are the one that requires careful handling. All right? You are the one that's in the balance. Let's get a few more, please. That's too many. Way too many. Just a few more, please. One at a time, hopefully. For the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Sun, Rising, North Node, Stellium, or any other placement of concern. Gemini. Mice, Yeah, people are picking at you and your energy and your abundance. This is nibbling away at resources, dwindling, slow decay, waste. Be alert. Observe you're running out of time. Okay, so this often comes when people are dragging their feet. Okay, you might have the resources to make a move, but you don't have the gumption. You don't. You're still in this hanged energy here. I'm surprised the hangman didn't come out, but you're still reluctant to move forward. But you have the resources to do it. The longer you take, the more these resources are going to be spread too thin. Okay, that might be coming off of that 10 of coins here. So don't take too long. Make your plan, trust your instincts. This Jupiter came out upside down, which is incredible because Jupiter is in retrograde right now. But yeah, this is sneaky, sneaky, very charming. And there's ego. It's talk fancy talking. Don't talk fancy to yourself and don't let other people talk fancy to you. Okay, this is divine authority. That's you. You are your own divine authority here. Okay, protection, luck, and prosperity. Even though it was in reverse, like I said, Jupiter energy is almost like the sun in tarot. Even in reverse, it's still very positive, okay? It's very strong, expansive, beneficial energy. Remember, you are spirit. That's a wonderful card. Let's see here. We'll just take these last two. Remember, you are spirit. Connect, listen, know, ascend, and be still. Okay, that's that hermit energy. Be still. Connect. When you connect to your inner self, you connect to your divine purpose. Okay, because the light of the hermit is the light of the higher self, and that represents the spark of you that is from the divine. Okay. We also have here Saturn energy. Where the heck is Saturn? Let me double check where Saturn is. Saturn be in Pisces. Oof, that's a tough one. Saturn in Pisces kind of, it's like this tough barrier to accessing that psychic part of ourselves, that intuitive the intuitive part of ourselves that delves so deep in the subconscious waters that you can almost get lost. Okay, Saturn is restriction, deadlines, work, dedication, perseverance, sacrifice, and loyalty. We've got it all here. Sacrifice, loyalty, perseverance, Dedication. Got that 10 of coins here with work and deadlines and stuff. But it also is reputation, hard work, okay? Things like that. It rules Capricorn. Do we want one more? Oh no, because we've got that spirit card. Okay, so that's what I have, okay? Some in the collective are at a crossroads here. You must decide who you want to be, where you want to go, what is you will leave behind, and make sure you don't leave behind yourself. Okay, thank you so much for sticking with me until I see you in a couple days when the moon goes into Pisces. I'll do it. Oh, I hate when the moon is in Pisces. I get very sensitive. So until I see you in the next couple days, thanks for sticking with me. Okay, thanks. Bye.